You've spent what, six, 700, maybe upwards of $1,000 on a beautiful pair of Alden boots. You got them perfectly broken in, they are super comfortable, and you've been wearing them for a while, and then one day you take a look at the bottom of your boots. The heels are worn at an angle, and the stitching that holds the soles to the boots is completely broken. And now you have a choice to make. Do you go buy a brand new pair and go through that break-in period all over again, or get them resold and continue wearing your favorite comfortable boots? My name's Alden the Shoe Man. My wife and I own and run our family's 5th generation shoe repair business right outside Nashville, Tennessee. And in today's video, we're going to be resoling these Alden boots and going over a few things you need to know before you get your Alden boots resold. First thing we're going to cover is how to know when you need new soles. Second thing, we're going to cover this unique Tom's heel, what it does, why it's there. We're then going to go over whether or not you're going to need or want new welts on your boots. And lastly, we'll go over a few sole choices for when you do get your boots resoled. For these boots, we're going to be using the Viram 700, and we may actually just sand this and glue it on upside down, which I'll explain why we may do that a little bit later in the video. But first, let's talk about when you need new soles and how to tell if you need new soles, how to tell if you still got a little more life left in them. So this customer specifically sent these boots in for new heels. So you could definitely tell he needs new heels. So if your heels are worn down like that, almost to this heel base, it's a good time to get those replaced. But I told him that the stitching that holds the sole, the midsole to the welt is all broken here. So the only thing that's holding this sole and the midsole to the welt is glue. And sometimes, I don't know if there's any separation, but through flexing as you walk, it'll start to separate here. So what I told them was, we could do the heels, no problem, but I would be afraid and concerned that 2, 3, maybe 4 months down the line, this sole is going to start to peel off and come undone, which will force us to replace everything, including the heels. So I recommended doing the full soles and heels now, even though this still has a little bit more life left into it. I just don't want him to have to pay for new heels and then 5 months down the road have to pay for new soles and new heels again, because we can't do the soles without replacing the heels. All right, so let's talk about what a Thomas heel is. So if you look here, the Thomas heel has this curve right here. Normal heel bases have either a little curve like that or it's straight across. But these have a unique S-type curve to it. And the reason for that is actually arch support. If you notice, this is on the inside of the boots, so it's in between your ankles, not to the outside. And that actually helps support your arch when you're walking in the boots. It making them a little bit more comfortable. These are also known as orthopedic heels. When you're getting your boots resoled, whatever color you go to, make sure that they replace them with the exact same style heel. Once we have the heels off, the next step is to remove this sole. Now, all I did was take it to my sander and lightly sand all the stitches, breaking them. The ones back here in the waist where the sole didn't hit the ground was still intact. The rest of them were broken. So we're gonna see how easy this sole comes off. Wasn't too much of a struggle. You can see it seems like some water and dirt got in between the sole and the midsole. So I'm actually really glad we did new soles on these and didn't just do the heels. And then once the sole is removed, we could take this midsole off, which surprisingly, this midsole is not leather. It's a fiberboard, like compressed paper type thing. You see, I can just easily rip it in half. We then have this fabric piece here. This is a shank cover. It's to prevent squeaking. Sometimes with this metal shank, it's loose on the inside. It'll start to rub up against the midsole and start to squeak. So they put this fabric here to prevent that. This is a really nice beefy shank. We're gonna reuse that. That is pretty much the biggest shank that you can get out of the market. This right here is a leather heel rand. Because this welt doesn't go all the way around the heel, they put a separate piece of leather. It's supposed to be leather. This is a fiberboard, the same material. They put the midsole, and it's supposed to give this a continuous look all the way around. That's why they skive this side down and skive the welts down. And that is so that they can actually narrow the heel, make it not so wide and bulbous. You see how closely to the boot the heel is? You couldn't do that if you had the welt going all the way around it. So it gives it more of a dressier look. After the midsole is off, we could then take all the stitching that held the midsole, the sole, to the welt. That's this white stitch right here. This is the welt, this leather piece. This leather piece gets stitched to the shoe, and then the sole and midsole get stitched to that. So when we resole them, we have to take all the stitching out, the old stitching, so that we could restitch it and try to go into the exact same holes. And I'll show you a little bit later. We can't guarantee we're going to hit all of the original holes, because the way our sewing machine works is we have to stitch the boots upside down. So because we can't see where the needle's going, then it's pretty much a guessing game. There is some adjustments we can make on the machine, like how far from the edge the stitch is, the distance between the two stitches. So we run test pieces first to see, and we run our and we set up our adjustments the best we can. But even with everything set up to the best of our ability, it's never a guarantee. Now, is that really an issue? Structurally, no. Visually, it can look kind of unsightly if you're poking new holes in the welt, especially with a white stitch on this boot. You can't really hide anything, and with it being like that, if any of the stitching is off, it looks terrible. But this customer decided to reuse the original welts, which is perfectly fine. We are going to do our best to make this boot look presentable and wearable for him again. At this stage, we basically have the foundation of the boot made. What I didn't show you was how I replaced this cork. Cork is a filler and a cushion. Over time, it does dry out and crack. So make sure whoever you take your boots to get them resoled, they do replace that cork. The shank and the shank cover was in really great shape, so we just reused that. This is our leather heel rand. It's a little bit wide, but I will sand it and shape it once we put the new heels on. You can see we skived them down so that the transition from the welt to the heel rand is perfect. Now we have a leather midsole. You cannot rip this in half, no matter how hard you try. And so this will serve just kind of a addition to our foundation before we put our new soles on. The next thing I want to cover in this video is what soles you can choose from. Now, there's a whole bunch of different soles. These are not all your options. This is just the most common option when it comes to resoling your boots. First off, we have a Vibram wedge sole. This is going to be very comfortable, supportive all the way across your foot. What this does have in comfort, this does lack in durability. It is a crepe sole, squishy, so this does tend to wear out a little bit faster than our rubber sole options. Now we have the day-night sole, which is an English or a British sole. I'm sorry. It's got the studs right there. Super durable. It is really comfortable. Rubber soles are just going to be comfortable in general. Not as comfortable as the crepe sole, but overall, I've heard from other customers that the rubber soles are more comfortable than the leather soles. So we got the day-night sole. Then we have our Vibram Mini Lug half sole. Now, some of the Aldens do come with something very similar. They have a leather full sole, then they do a half sole, and they trim the lugs about 1/2 inch all the way around to turn it into a commando sole. So you have the durability and the traction of a lug sole, but from the side, you don't see all of those lugs. So the sole in this boot isn't what the Aldens come with. It's kind of like the heavier dutier version. This is the Vibram 100 lug instead of the mini lug, but this is a great example of what the recessed edges are. You can see what I did was I hand cut about 1/2 inch all the way around, so that you don't really see the lugs from the side. This customer specifically asked for a brass toe plate, so I had to custom make that for him. Super cool. But I wanted to show you guys that. That's what a commando sole is. The Aldens come with the mini lug with the recessed edges. We could do the mini lugs with the recessed edges. We could do the mini lugs with full lugs. It's completely up to you. Then we have the Vibram 430 sole, which is a commando sole in and of itself, but it's a full rubber sole. You see you got that lug pattern recessed into the sole, so you don't see the lugs from the side. This one is a really great option as well. And then the Vibram 700, which this is the most common sole because it's very similar to what originally came on the boots. It is a cork sole just like this is. You can see all the little specks, that's cork. Same thing with that. So this one has a V-bar tread, is what some people call it. Now there's two options with this. So you could do this, right? Put that on the shoe, stitch it, call it good. Some people really like that smooth cork sole. So what we can also do is sand this tread down, glue it on upside down, and there you go. Now you have your smooth cork sole. We gave that option to the customer, whether he wanted the smooth cork or the V-bar, and he said he wanted the V-bar tread. So we're gonna go ahead and glue this onto the boots. Try my best to make sure that that Vibram logo is centered properly. So what you saw in the last scene is us carving a channel for the stitching to be countersunk. That way the stitching is not right on top of the soles and you break it as soon as you start walking, which is the main reason why we had to resole these in the first place. So with us countersinking the stitches, he'll get more life and more wear out of his soles. So I'm gonna just put a little line that'll indicate and tell me where to start and stop. And I'm gonna do my best to stitch these in the original holes. I got it all cleaned and conditioned to the uppers as well, just so it's a nice, because we're doing a cream top stitch. I don't want to try to do any cleaning after the stitching's on there because it could get it dirty. Got yellow in the top thread, so it'll be yellow on the bottom, cream on the top. And enough procrastinating. Let's do this thing. Oh my gosh. Moment of truth? Okay, alright, it's not too bad. Not too bad, not too bad at all. If you look right here, you can see the original holes. I didn't go into it, but we should be able to push that in a little bit. Other than that, things turned out better than I thought I was going to. So when it comes to heels, we have a few different options. This is a new leather heel base. I took the old crumbly one and I traced it onto some leather and made my own leather heel base, my own Thomas heel base, my own orthopedic heel base. Now, I wanted to be able to use these. These are vintage cat's paw heels, but these were too big. So then I went to this, which is the exact same one that they have, but this one's too small. So what I had to do was take a Vibram cowboy heel and turn it into a Thomas heel. And so we got this lined up. Make sure that inside breast. This, by the way, is called the breast of the heel. I didn't name it that, but that's what it's called. Want to make sure that's lined up perfectly. And now these holes have washers in them, so we could put nails into them, securing that rubber heel to the leather heel base. Like that, these guys are all done and ready to go for another cycle of life. And they turned out absolutely beautiful. Just to recap real quick, what we ended up doing was replacing pretty much everything on these boots except for the welds. We got new leather heel bands, new leather midsoles. We replaced the paper midsole. You see this one is just ripped in half. Those heel brands also were paper. The heel bases were paper as well, so we replaced that as well with leather. Basically everything that was paper got replaced with leather, and the soles got replaced with the same exact style sole. It's a neo cork sole. It's a rubber with cork infused in it. That being said, today, the day I'm posting this video, is my 5th year anniversary with my wife. 6 years together, 5 years married. So sweetheart, if you're watching this, I love you and I thank you, and I wouldn't want to run this business with anybody else but you. And here's to 5 more, 10 more, 15, 20 till we die, which is a long time from now, God willing. But thank you guys for watching and supporting our business, supporting our channel. If you send shoes in, I appreciate you. If you just watch, like, and subscribe, I do appreciate you, because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to do this video, wouldn't be able to have this shop do what it does, and be able to run my family's business with my wife. So I appreciate you guys. If you have any questions about getting this done to your boots, or you have similar questions, yes, I do take mail-ins. These were mailed in. All my contact information is down below. Feel free to give me a call or text. Until next time, God bless you guys.